I'm Diego, and today I'm going to be talking about the World Cup and the corruption within FIFA. So, I want you to think about the World Cup. What do you think of? I'll tell you what I think of. I think of the world's most entertaining sporting event of all time. What if I told you, though, that it wasn't decided by fair play, but by millions of dollars in secret bribes? That's exactly what investigators found out about FIFA, the organization that runs the sport of soccer. The whole world found out that some of the most powerful people in soccer had been secretly accepting money for exchange of votes, tournament rights, and other deals. Today, I'm going to tell you how that scandal started, what really happened behind the scenes, and what happened afterwards. By the end, you'll understand how corruption inside of FIFA really nearly ruined the sport of soccer. So, let's start out by talking about what FIFA really is and what it stands for. So, it stands for International Federation Association of Football/Soccer, right? So, it was founded back in 1904, and it basically runs the whole entire sport of soccer. Anytime you see a professional game or a professional tournament while you're scrolling on your phone, watching TV, anytime you see that, it all leads back to FIFA. Because FIFA basically owns the professional world of soccer, especially the World Cup, though, which brings in billions of dollars through sponsorships, tickets, and TV rights. Because of all that money and influence, FIFA became incredibly powerful, and they get to decide which country hosts the World Cup every 4 years, a decision that can completely change the nation's economy. That's where problems started when Qatar was chosen to host the World Cup of 2022. People were confused because Qatar, previous to that, had no soccer history. They're in extreme heat, they're located in the desert, and they have limited stadiums. Before that, I think they only had one or two stadiums, and they had very, very little hospitality for tourists. So it raised a lot of questions because, there could have been other countries that could have hosted the World Cup where, soccer is more popular. So that's when rumors started to spread that maybe the vote wasn't fair and money might have been involved. So that all happened when FIFA got together and met and decided who was going to host the upcoming World Cups. And now we're going to fast forward to May of 2015, right? The host of the 2022 was already set, which was Qatar. And the U.S. Department of Justice made a huge announcement. They charged 14 people, including 9 of FIFA's officials, with bribery, racketeering, and money laundering. It turned out that these officials had accepted more than $150 million in bribes over 2 decades. In exchange, they sold media rights, sponsorships, and votes for where the major tournaments were going to be held at. According to BBC News, the FBI and Swiss police worked together to uncover how deep this was. The arrest happened in Switzerland right before FIFA's annual meeting. Even FIFA's longtime president, Sepp Blatter, was forced to step down. This moment shocked fans everywhere. The people who were supposed to protect the game had been secretly profiting off of it for years. One of the biggest controversies linked to this was the Qatar World Cup, where investigators found strong evidence that the votes were influenced by bribes. The scandal didn't just embarrass FIFA, but it made fans question whether soccer itself had lost its integrity. After the scandal, FIFA's image was completely tanked. Major of its sponsors like Visa and Coca-Cola threatened to part ways until FIFA made big changes. So, in 2016, they introduced several reforms to clean things up. They added term limits, for presidents so nobody could stay in power forever. They created an independent ethics committee and promised to be more transparent with their finances. And while FIFA still faced some backlash and criticism from that, they had to rebuild from the ground up. This scandal forced them and the soccer world to remember that money can't come before fairness. Now, FIFA corruption scandal wasn't just about soccer. It was about honesty, power, and accountability. We learned how FIFA became powerful, corrupt, and was exposed, and how eventually it was pushed for a change. So the next time you watch the World Cup, remember what happens off the field, and that it can just be as important as what happens on the field. Because the heart of any sport, including soccer, should always be about integrity, passion, and respect for the game. Thank you. My sources are BBC News. Thank you.